Hey, welcome back to Meet the Masons.
Thank you guys for joining us again.
Welcome back and Happy
New Year. So, as you can tell from our title, we're going to be talking about 10 tips that we've learned as first-time home buyers.
Yes, it's already been a year. We actually closed on our home last year, December 29th, and it's 2017. So,
well, not last year, the year before that.
The year before that.
We celebrated a whole year, December 29th, 2016.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
So we were first-time home buyers, had no idea what we were getting into. We just knew that we didn't want to rent anymore and that we wanted a house.
Right.
And we just kind of went for it. So we're going to share with you a couple tips that we've learned along the way.
Here we go.
So tip number 1. People automatically think, oh yeah, I want a home. I'm about to get a realtor.
Wrong.
And don't do that. It is not time for that. Actually, you need to get your financial situation set up first before you explore that avenue. So once you're pre-approved, then you're going to start looking for your realtor. Until then, listen to the next steps.
Tip number 2. This is not an overnight process. For us, we thought we would find a home and get the whole process done in 3 months and move out from our old apartment. And we renewed our lease for another year because the process was a lot longer than we expected. So definitely have a plan.
Definitely have a plan. It's not going to take 5 minutes. In some cases, it actually could if you are, you're well informed and you have your situation together. But a lot of times, we don't know. If you're a first-time home buyer, just know that it could take a little bit longer than you may think. Tip number 3. Do your research. Okay, we had no idea what we were doing as first-time home buyers, so we searched everything, we Googled everything, we talked to other people who are already homeowners, we talked to our realtor, we talked to our bank. I actually got a lot of information. If you go to your local bank or even on their website, you'll see that they already have spreadsheets and PowerPoints of how to go about the home buying process. So you want to get familiar with that because there's going to be so many terminologies and words and ideas that you just may not know when you're talking to financing and your realtor that you want to be familiar with beforehand. You can also research agencies in your area that may have first-time home buyer classes. That is very helpful.
Tip number 4, determine your budget in advance. By now, you probably do already have a budget. So with that budget in place, you already know what's coming in and going out when it comes to finances. So with your home, you want to add that in and make sure that you already have enough on that spreadsheet. So when you're looking at your expenses, it's not just a mortgage.
Right.
You have your mortgage, you have your homeowner's insurance, you have taxes, you have lawn care, you have electricity bills,
HOA.
There's so many different things that you can have added into that equation. So you want to make sure that you definitely do plan in advance so that you have more than enough when the time comes.
Yes. Because what the financing may do is they'll say, hey, you qualify for $800,000. And they're actually looking at your gross income before taxes. But we all know that the taxes are taken out and that is not what we see when we come home. So they'll try to make you think that you can afford more. But no, you look at your budget and see how much you actually want to pay before you move forward. Tip number 5, check your credit score.
Yes.
The higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate and the less you have to pay back for your loan if you choose to get a loan. So what the creditors or the financial banks are looking at is how credible have you been with your previous finances, your previous loans that you've had. Also, if you have anything in collections or anything that is delinquent, you want to take care of those things because they're going to say, if you can't manage what you currently have, how do you think you're going to be able to manage an even greater loan? So it's time to start working on that. And a lot of times they'll tell you, hey, before we can approve you, you have to cancel that debt first. So you definitely want to look into that.
Tip number 6, start saving as soon as possible. Literally, like now. If you haven't already, maybe the day before yesterday, maybe last year, start saving. So with your savings, it's going to be definitely for the purchase of your home. If you can buy it cash, hey, buy it cash. But at the same time, you want to have your down payment prepared. You want to have your escrow payment prepared. You want to have money for furniture because when you walk into the house, hey, we got the keys to the house. Where are we going to sleep? You want to think about things like that in advance. And after that, you can thoroughly enjoy your home.
Tip number 7, if you are choosing to finance your home, you need to get pre-approved with the bank. So how this whole process works, because I was so oblivious to it. I was like, why do I need to go ask a bank to buy my house? I just didn't understand. So what you're doing is asking your bank, hey, may I have $300,000? And they say, you know what, you're good. Yes. What they're going to do is buy your home, and then they're going to tell you, now you need to pay us back for your home, and this is how much interest you're going to pay back on what we've already paid on your home. So you're never really, it's so funny, the American dream and the home ownership thingy, you never really own your home until you actually pay it off, but you're in the process of owning it. And it is a good debt to have versus something revolving like a credit card. But what you do is you go to your bank, you let them know that you want to be pre-approved for a loan, and then they will let you know. They'll ask you a couple questions. They're going to ask for your social security number. They're also going to check your credit score. It is going to be an inquiry on your credit statement. So you want to kind of make sure that you kind of have yourself together, because if you know you don't have yourself together, they're just probably going to reject you, and you don't want a whole bunch of rejections on your credit score. So have yourself together, and once you get pre-approved, they'll let you know, hey, yeah, we'll approve you for this amount. Or they may say, no, you actually need to work on this area and this area before we can say yes.
And it's also good to have a budget in place. I know we mentioned this before, because they're going to ask you, what is your gross income? What is your net income? What are your monthly expenses? And you might want to be aware of those things in advance, so that way they can be more confident in their decision to partner with you to purchase your home.
Right. Very good tip.
Tip number 8, understand different types of loans. So when you go into the pre-approval process, that's great. Hey, you've been approved, but you want to make sure that you know what kind of loan you have been approved for. There are conventional loans, there are FHA loans, there are non-conventional loans, there are 5 ARMs. There's so many different options, and it's like, hold on, do I really want to do that? Why is the rate increasing so far up at the end? Oh, this one's more consistent, or whatever the case may be. You really want to be in a position to understand fully what you're signing, because when you sign, they are serious.
Yes. And the different types of loans also determine how much you're going to be putting down. Like a conventional loan, you may put down a little bit more.
On average, about 20%.
Yeah, around 20%. But with the FHA loan, it may be 3.5% to 5% that you're putting down. But there may also be PMI, which you guys will learn all those different things. But an additional mortgage interest that's on top of your mortgage with the FHA. But when you do your research, you'll see what best works for you in your financial situation. Tip number 9. So the bank isn't the only place that offers funding for your home.
Say what?
Yes. So if you're going with a new community, oftentimes the builders offer funding for you. So you can go through the process, get pre-approved the same way that you would with a bank. Now, a good tip is, if you're pre-approved with both people, both sides of the funding, you can actually negotiate with them to see, hey, they're offering me this, can you do better than this? So it is always good to kind of have a good backing, to always be pre-approved somewhere else, because you can always negotiate something better.
I like you.
It's actually what we did.
I like you. Tip number 10. Be sure to look for home insurance.
Yes.
If you're financing your home, or if you're paying cash, it's definitely going to be a huge benefit if you have homeowners insurance, because of day 1 or day 2 of you having your home. Let's say you leave something on the stove and it burns to the ground. You want to make sure you can build it back up. It's a huge investment. You don't want to throw something like that out the window.
Yes.
With that in mind, you want to shop around. You can shop online, you can shop over the phone, or you can see somebody face to face. And seeing that you already have a budget, when you're looking at, let's say, your auto insurance, you can combine your home and auto and even save there. A lot of times it's better to save with a bundle, or it might be more advantageous to have 2 separate companies. It's really up to you and your family's needs, but you definitely, in my opinion, I would say you need home insurance. So please check it out.
Thank you all so much for watching this episode. We hope that you learned something from the lessons that we've learned along the way. But if you still have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or a question below, and we would love to answer it for you.
Stay tuned, because in the future, we've already talked about financing your home. We'll also talk about finding your home and furnishing your home.
Yes.
So stay connected.
Yes.
We'll be back for more.
We will be back, and as always, we will see you next Tuesday.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego. Bye.